This video is an overview of how to set up your Intex sand filter with saltwater system. It is important to read and follow all the instructions in your owner's manual. Failure to do so could result in injury or product damage. Due to continual product improvement, actual product may vary from product pictured in this DVD. Assembly of your Intex 16-inch sand filter with saltwater system is easy, but requires some special attention to location and a team of an adult and a helper for setup. Provide a level, stable base which is vibration-free. The water outlet from the pump should face the pool. The filter pump should be as far from the pool as the hoses will allow. Check the location carefully, since the filter will be heavy after it is filled with sand. Good air circulation is important for motor cooling. You will also need 100 pounds, 45 kilograms, of number 20 silica sand to complete the setup for the 16-inch sand filter. Do not use synthetic sand. Remove the sand filter and all the accessories from the packaging. Inspect for visible damage. Contact the Intex Service Center if damage is evident. Consult your owner's manual. Unscrew the leaf trap cover counterclockwise and take out the basket and filter housing nut. Push the pre-filter housing against the motor water inlet and screw it onto the motor water inlet with the filter housing nut. Replace the leaf basket and cover. Place the tank support base in the selected position. Some countries require that the product be secured to the ground or a base in a level, upright position. Check for local requirements. Place the tank on the base as shown. Connect the motor pre-filter assembly to the tank support base with a water inlet hose connection facing the pool. Lay the filter grid on a flat surface and screw the center onto it by hand. Insert the assembly into the tank and fit it snugly into the bottom of the tank. The pipe must be vertical and centered. Before putting sand in the tank, cover the top of the center pipe to keep out sand. The recommended quantity of sand is between 88 and 110 pounds. While one person holds the center pipe straight, half of the sand can be slowly poured into the tank. Add water to the tank until it just covers the sand as a cushion when the rest of the sand is poured. Add more sand until the level is between the minimum and maximum marks on the center pipe. Spread the sand out evenly by hand. Remove the protective cover from the pipe and wash any sand from the top edge of the tank. Check to make sure the center pipe is still centered in the tank so the valve cover will fit. Place the tank O-ring around the top edge of the tank. Make sure no sand is trapped in the process. Lower the 6-way valve slowly onto the tank, ensuring that the bypass pipe under the valve fits securely into the center pipe. Improper installation could be hazardous. Consult the manual carefully during setup. There are 3 hose ports on the valve. The water inlet port must be aligned with the motor outlet and the water outlet port must face the pool. The third hose connection is the drain waste port, which is protected with a waste cap. A separate hose is not provided for this port. When backwashing, rinsing, or draining, you may use the hose from the filter to the pool after closing the plunger valve on that side. Install the flange around the tank and 6-way valve flanges. Insert the clamp bolt into the pre-installed nut on the clamp and tighten it securely with the wrench provided. Check to make sure L-shaped O-rings are in place on both the valve inlet and the motor outlet. Connect the short interconnecting hose between the motor and the filter. Insert the electrolytic cell into the 6-way valve outlet port. It is important to align the groove with the locator. See picture 23 in the manual. Screw and tighten the flow sensor into the titanium cell. Plug in the line cord and tighten the nut. For larger pools, unscrew the large threaded strainer connectors from the plunger valves and set the valves aside along with their step washers. Remove the large nuts from the connectors, and from inside the pool, insert the large pool inlet nozzle with the flat black washer through the highest connector hole. From outside the pool liner, replace the nut and make sure it is finger tight. Reconnect the plunger valves with the black step washers in place on the pool connectors. Make sure both valves are in the closed and locked position. If you have a 16-foot or smaller pool with 1 1/4 inch diameter hoses with hose clamps and black hat-shaped plugs for the sidewall, follow these steps to adapt the smaller hose fittings to the plunger valves and 1 1/2 inch hoses included with the filter pump unit. If you have water in the pool already, unscrew the strainer cover and insert the black strainer hole plug to prevent water from draining out of the pool. Then disconnect the pump hoses from the pool. Locate the two B adapters and connect them to each of the black connectors on the pool. Next, unpack the plunger valves and remove the large strainer connectors, as they are not needed on this size pool. Do not discard the black step washers on the plunger valves. Attach the plunger valves to the B adapters and close and lock both plunger valves. Replace the small strainer connectors with the safety cap and screws. Connect the hoses to the sand filter saltwater system, making sure that the lower hose is connected to the pump motor. Connect the other hose to the end of the electrolytic cell. Secure all connections. You are now ready to fill the pool. Open and lock the plunger valves. Uncover the drain waste valve and direct it to a suitable drain. Make sure the pump motor switch is in the off position and depress the 6-way valve, turning it to backwash. Always depress the valve handle to turn it. Connect the motor cord to an AC outlet away from the pool. It must be GFCI or RCD protected. Switch the pump motor on. Water will now circulate backward through the sand and out the drain waste port. Continue in the backwash mode until the water runs clear as observed in the sediment window. Turn the pump off and change the 6-way valve to rinse. Turn on and run the pump for a minute to level out the sand after backwashing. Switch off the pump again and turn the handle to filter. Turn on the pump and let it run until the water is clear. If you see bubbles coming up from the pool inlet, check that all connections are tight. Check the sediment valve for clean water. When the sand has been washed clean, record the pressure gauge reading. As dirt accumulates in the sand, the pressure will rise. When it reaches the yellow zone, backwashing will be necessary. Before cleaning and maintenance, turn the pump off and disconnect the power cord. Close both plunger valves. Release the pressure by opening the sediment valve on the lower side of the filter housing. Unscrew the leaf trap cover and O-ring. Remove the basket for cleaning with a garden hose. After rinsing the leaf trap and O-ring, reassemble them and close the sediment valve. Before adding salt to the pool, connect the saltwater system and pump to an RCD or GFCI AC electric outlet. Rotate the 6-way valve to backwash. Uncover and direct the waste port to a suitable drain and turn on the filter pump to flush any dirt out of the sand. You may have to repeat this step. The pump must not be turned on when the valve is in the closed position. Pressure buildup could lead to an explosive rupture. Run the pump on rinse to level out the sand. Turn off the pump and turn the valve to filter. Switch the pump back on. The green pump LED indicator will light up in a few moments indicating 00. You are now ready to add salt to the water. Refer to the salt table in the owner's manual for the amount of salt you will need for your size pool. Adding salt to pool water creates an electrolyte, which goes through 2 chemical reactions inside the saltwater system when low voltage electricity is applied. The 2-stage saltwater system uses copper ion technology to knock out algae before it even gets started. Small amounts of natural chlorine work together with copper ions to keep your pool water fresh, clean, and comfortable. Make sure to follow the salt chart in the manual for the amount of salt you need. Evenly spread the salt around the inside of the pool. Brush the pool bottom to help dissolve the salt. Do not put salt into the skimmer as this can damage or clog the filter pump. Run the filter pump for 24 hours before using the saltwater system to ensure the salt is completely dissolved and the saltwater system will operate properly. Use a salt test strip available from pool supply stores if you have any doubt about the salt level of your water. The saltwater system filter pump has an automatic timer that starts at the same time each day. Program the system at the time you would like the saltwater system and filter pump to begin operation each day. Set the 6-way valve on filter. To start the saltwater system, lift the clear protective cover to program the unit. To unlock the keypad controls, press and hold the down button until a short beep is heard. The display will start flashing, indicating that the keypad controls are unlocked and the timer is ready to be set. See the table in the manual for recommended hours of operation according to the size of your pool. Use the up and down buttons to adjust the number of hours as needed. After you have selected the operating hours, lock the keypad controls by first pressing the down button until you hear a beep, then pressing the up button until you hear another beep. The keypad is now locked. After 30 seconds, the green working light will come on, indicating that the system is producing chlorine and copper ions. When the cycle ends, the green sleep indicator lights up and code 93 flashes on the control station display. After a few minutes, the unit will go into power save mode and the indicators will go blank. 24 hours from the initial start time, it will automatically restart its daily cycle. Keep the free chlorine level between 0.4 to 1.5 ppm and the copper ion concentration between 0.1 and 0.2 ppm. Test the copper concentration weekly with the included copper test strips. If the test shows below 0.1 ppm, simply run a copper boost cycle. Press and hold boost for 5 seconds until the control station readout flashes 80, indicating that boost production has started. The boost cycle is 4 times longer than regular operating time. Once completed, the system will return to normal operating hours. You should also repeat the boost cycle after a heavy rain or any time the pool becomes dirty. Depending on local weather and water conditions and the number of swimmers using the pool, You may wish to run only the filter pump after the chlorine cycle has ended. Without reprogramming the chlorine cycle timer, press and hold the up button and the down button at the same time for 5 seconds until the code FP flashes, indicating that only the filter pump is in run mode and controlled by the on-off switch. To restart the chlorine cycle the next day at the desired time, press and hold the down button for 2 seconds until a short beep is heard. Press and hold the up button, waiting for the short beep. Chlorine will stop being produced if low water flow, low salt, or high salt conditions are detected. An LED code will flash and a buzzer will sound to alert you of any problems. 1 hour later, the unit will shut down to protect it from damage. Refer to the owner's manual for complete LED codes, troubleshooting, and operational instructions. Your saltwater system and pump requires little maintenance since the electrolytic cell has a self-cleaning cycle. To maintain maximum performance, it is recommended to visually inspect the electrolytic cell monthly. If there is an accumulation of calcium or other substances on the titanium plate, cleaning will be required. Refer to the owner's manual for complete maintenance instructions. With proper care and maintenance, the Intex sand filter combo with saltwater system will give you years of clean, sparkling, fresh water.